Dun, dun, dun! Hello, beautiful people. It's me, Robin by Carpenter Briscoe, your favorite spiritual life coach and author of Let's Get Stoned, using stones and crystals to create a life that rocks. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are in day one of our 28-day journey called The Magic and the Crystals. So if you did not see my video on Instagram last night, because you don't follow me on Instagram, and that's cool, I don't feel away. You did not hear my little backstory about how this got started. So brief little backstory. We won't do this every day. Last year, like many people, I did the 21-day meditation journey with Deepak Chopra. So if you didn't do it, I'm sure there's probably some group still going around because it's kind of one of those things. So it was 21 days and you did a reading, you read the post and then you listened to the video on YouTube with Deepak Chopra with the meditation. Excuse me. So spoiler alert, if you haven't done this, 7 days in, because it's an abundance thing, right? So 7 days in, you have to do your own group. That's how all these groups get started. That's how I got invited to like 5 different groups, is because on day 7, you have to invite other people to do it with you and start your own group. Well, let's just say the first time around didn't go as well as I had hoped. I was kind of lazy, it wasn't good. But the second time that I did it, I nailed it. It was really good. And what I did was I added an element that made the whole situation more personal for me. And that's because I added a stone or a crystal to each day's intention. So whatever the reading was about, whatever the intention or the mantra was for the day, I chose a correlating stone or crystal to go with it. And honestly, I did it because it was the only way that I was gonna stay in it, right? Like the only way that I was really gonna keep going and doing the things is the way that works for me and for a lot of my clients is by adding, and many other people, is by adding a stone or crystal to whatever it is that you're doing, because it's this great, it's a physical thing you can pick up and hold in your hand and be like, this is the thing. And so every time you see it, you're able to lock back in on that intention and remind yourself of what's up. Because the reason that I will lose focus along the way. Other stuff comes along. You get distracted, right? You get distracted, and the thing that was like lighting you on fire, and you're like, I love doing this every day. I love doing this. I love saying these things, blah, blah, blah. And then what happens? Something happens. You have to, what often happens with me, if it's a morning thing, then suddenly my morning isn't what it normally is. So this is the earliest I generally start my morning, 9 a.m. my current time where I am. 9 a.m. is always the time that I start my day. And it's not actually the time that I get up, although it probably sounds a little like it because it's, morning voice. But I start my day several hours early. Well, not several, I get up at 6:30, but that whole morning part, the time between there and now is for me. So I do that, I do my own morning meditation, I do yoga, I do whatever program I'm taking, or abundance practice or whatever. Like I'm in a mastermind right now on abundance, so I'm doing that. Whatever, that kind of stuff. That's my stuff. Then by 9 a.m., preferably 10 a.m., but 9 a.m., if I'm really like raring to go, I'm ready to talk to people about other stuff. So that's how we got to 9 a.m. my time. So what has happened is quarantine happened, right? So I was like, what other cool stuff could I do with this idea? And I loved this book, The Magic, when we did it as part of summer school at Heart and Soul Center of Light, which is a spiritual center in Oakland. So I have two homes, so it's near my California home. And it is also where I'm doing my spiritual practitioner license, like residency or whatever. It's where I've been studying and where I am now a professional practitioner candidate for my license. It's taken years, so I'm very excited. I say it every time I can. So you'll probably hear me say it again. But anyway, so every summer we do summer school, and we do a book that we work our way through together. And it's, it's kind of like book club, but it's much deeper because there's like, we're learning stuff. It's summer school, right? So I love this book in its 28 days, which is the perfect amount of days to do it in February. So I decided sometime later last year, when I was rediscovering it, because someone that I follow was reading it online, and I was like, oh, that book. I'm totally doing that. So here we are. Day 1. Welcome. I hope that you have the book. And if you don't have the book, turn this off, go get the book, and come back to day 1, because you really can't do this without the book. I'm not going to read the book. We're going to talk about why I chose the stone or crystal and what the premise of it is each day. So although this one's going to go a little bit longer, the reality is we're only going to be talking for about 17 minutes each day about the chapter and the intentions around it, and what what stone I chose and what to do about it. So day 1, if you have your book and they're keeping right up, then day 1 is count your blessings, right? And this is legit. I'm telling you, I loved the quote at the top. When I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. Willie Nelson. And clearly he is an extraordinarily successful person that lives a good life. He loves his life and lives a good one. And so I am believing that he is like, yeah, man, go with the gratitude. Gratitude is everything. In fact, the chapter in my book, the second chapter of my book is called Everything Begins with Gratitude, because it does. You must find opportunities in every day to feel true gratitude for the moments of grace in your life. From Let's Get Stoned. That's me. Anyway, so something to remember is that you're going to need a journal for this entire series, right? Because the first thing it tells you to do is count your blessings. And you have to do 10 a day, right? It tells you, that's the first thing they're telling, oh shit, we got to start with blessings. And remember what it tells you. You have to do this every day. So every day is going to be a thing. And also, it's a build on thing. It's not a do this, then do this, then do this. It's a do this plus do this plus do this. So get used to this counting your blessings thing, because you're going to do it every day for the next 28 days. And technically, hopefully, it's going to become such a habit for you. You're going to do it every day. Maybe not 10, and maybe not written down with all the thank you, thank you, thank yous, but you're going to do some version of it every day. Excuse me. So if that's the case, get going, get used to it, get your journal and start writing, because you got a lot of thank yous to say, because you're going to have to do it every day, 10 a day for 28 days. What? So what stone did I choose? I chose jade. Because jade is the stone all is well. All is well. Joy abounds. I pause for a moment of gratitude. That literally is the intention for jade. Yes, there are lots of others. It is a good luck stone. It is a good fortune stone. And the reason that it gives that you have luck and good fortune is because you have gratitude. All things, everything begins with gratitude. I think that's why I loved this book so much, because I'm such a believer in gratitude that when I found out the magic, first the secret was the law of attraction. Everything that you think about, you bring about, right? First there's that, and then the magic is gratitude. So I'm like, I'm in. Gratitude begins with everything. So how are we going to create a fantastic gratitude practice, and how are we going to add a stone to it? And this is jade. So you saw me hold it up earlier. Can you see it? It's a little tiny one. I like this little tiny one because I carry it with me. And, I'm that, when they say to people, oh my God, this bag is so heavy. What do you got in here? Rocks? My answer is yes. Probably. I do have rocks in my bag. It's a thing. So I try to be kind to myself as often as possible and not always carry giant ones. And this one I like because of what I'm going to suggest that you do with your stone. So since we have to sit down every day and do a gratitude practice of 10 things that you're grateful for, I want you to take your jade and sit it next to you where you're writing in your journal your gratitude practice. So maybe your journal's on your computer. Maybe it's not like physically writing it in a journal. I write in a journal. There's literally a thing that happens cognitively with your brain and your belief system that physically writing it down does. So that's why I do it. I'm certain that if there's any sort of stress or any sort of anything in fear involved in the writing down, that whole cognition thing goes out the window. I had a client who is an artist, and she didn't like writing in her diary or her journal or whatever language you use, because when she was young, her mom would read it. And so it was like this massive, breach of trust that she was like, no, I'm not writing stuff down. And so what I discovered as we started working together was that she actually had a sketchbook, and her sketchbook was actually her journal. So, because she's an artist, right? So she's like literally expressing what's going on for her story, her journey as art. So a journal does not have to be word, like literally, though, it can be whatever works for you. If the computer is all you're able to do because for some reason you cannot use your hands to write, then how am I going to tell you that your journal is invalid because you're doing it on a computer? Like, what the hell? So it is more about the practice of journaling that I want to get over. For me, I learn best and am able to, synthesize things best to my ability when I write it in a physical journal longhand. So this stone sits next to me on my in my corner where I do my morning meditation stuff. Next to me while I'm writing in my journal, my gratitude list. And so this is my suggestion as to way to do this. You take your stone in your hand and you take it in your non-dominant hand. If you are right-handed, that means left hand. If you are left-handed, it means your right hand. If you are ambidextrous, it's whichever hand you think is the best hand. If you are unable to hold the stone, then have it in front of you so that you can focus your vision on the stone. So wherever it needs to sit so that your eye line is going to the stone, then focus all of your energy and attention on the stone if you are unable to hold the stone. So get the stone and you're getting it, and then close your eyes if you are holding the stone, or focus your vision if you are not holding the stone and you are looking at the stone. And only think about the stone. And then say, all is well. All is well. I am grateful. Here is my gratitude. That's how you start. Do that with your jade, and then do your 10 thank yous, that your 10 your list of gratitude for the day. Okay, that's it. That's all I have to say for the day. Hope you make it a great day. If you think you'd like to have a little bit extra conversation around this, I'm going to hop over on Clubhouse and talk some more about the magic and the crystals and today's stone jade. So if you are live with me right now, then hop over there. If you're seeing this after the fact and it's a replay, then we are already finished talking, and maybe you can catch up to another conversation we're having on Clubhouse. Anyway, I love you. Remember, you are illimitable. So go and create a life that rocks. Woohoo! See you tomorrow.